In a world where technology shapes global power, the U.S. has made a major leap forward. The 2025 B-1 Lancer, a game-changing bomber, has just been revealed, promising to transform military aviation. And as global tensions rise, the arrival of this powerhouse signals a new chapter in America's military dominance. But what makes this aircraft truly unmatched? Join us as we uncover what makes the U.S. just unveiled 2025 B-1 Lancer a true force to be reckoned with. The roots of the B-1A program stretch back to the early 1960s, a pivotal era for U.S. military aviation. This was shortly after a chilling wake-up call for American intelligence, the infamous downing of the Lockheed U-2 Dragon Lady. That high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft was shot out of the sky by the Soviet Union, exposing vulnerabilities in U.S. aerial operations. This incident shook the U.S. intelligence community to its core and forced a major overhaul of policies, procedures, and safety protocols. In response, military planners envisioned an ambitious new bomber. The idea was to combine the immense payload and range capabilities of the legendary Boeing B-52 Stratofortress with the blistering speed of Mach 2, similar to the sleek Convair B-58 Hustler. The hope was that such a bomber would outclass anything the Soviet Union could throw at it, essentially rendering their defenses powerless. But this dream collided with a harsh reality. The SA-2 guideline missile, known to the Soviets as the S-75 Dvina, a game-changing surface-to-air missile system that proved devastatingly effective. It was this very missile that brought down the U-2, shattering any illusions of invincibility in high-altitude operations. The United States quickly realized that the age of safe, high-speed, high-altitude bombing was over. In a radical pivot, military strategists decided to change the game entirely. Instead of soaring above enemy defenses, bombers would dive down low, hugging the terrain to evade radar detection. This approach, known as low-altitude penetration, took advantage of terrain masking, a clever tactic where pilots used natural features like hills, valleys, and even mountains to hide from radar. By flying low, bombers could disrupt the line of sight between enemy radar systems and the aircraft, essentially playing a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek. The terrain acted as a shield, making it nearly impossible for radar operators to maintain a lock on the bomber. Interestingly, this shift toward low-altitude flying began even before the U-2 incident, showing just how rapidly tactics were evolving in the face of new threats. In those early days of radar technology, one major challenge was how the systems often struggled to detect enemy aircraft, especially those flying at low altitudes. This problem was made even worse by random reflections from the ground and nearby objects, which created significant interference. These limitations greatly reduced the effectiveness of air defense systems when dealing with low-flying aircraft. Take the B-52 Stratofortress, for example. This iconic bomber was originally designed for high-altitude missions, cruising far above the reach of most enemy defenses. However, its remarkable adaptability turned it into an effective low-altitude workhorse over time. Its massive fuel capacity allowed it to fly long distances even at lower levels, while its large airframe provided ample room for advanced radar jamming equipment and deception systems. These upgrades helped it counter enemy radars and stay relevant despite its aging design. That said, the B-52 was never truly ideal for low-altitude missions. Its size and design made it less maneuverable compared to purpose-built low-flying aircraft. Recognizing this limitation, the U.S. Air Force sought a more specialized solution, a strategic penetration bomber capable of evading enemy radar by hugging the terrain. The first comprehensive study of such an aircraft, called the Subsonic Low-Altitude Bomber, was completed in 1961. This led to the conceptualization of a revolutionary design. Unlike the rugged, militaristic appearance of traditional bombers, this new design looked more like a commercial airliner, with sleek, swept-back wings, a distinctive T-shaped tail, and massive high-bypass turbofan engines for greater fuel efficiency and range. The story of the Advanced Manned Strategic Aircraft began with a predecessor project known as the URSA Extended Range Strike Aircraft. This ambitious endeavor introduced a revolutionary design feature, a variable sweep wing, allowing the aircraft to adapt its wing position during flight for better performance at different speeds. It quickly gained attention within the aviation industry, becoming a significant milestone in aircraft innovation. The Ursa project set some bold goals. The aircraft needed to carry a payload of 10,000 pounds and travel more than 10,000 miles. Of this distance, nearly 2,900 miles were to be flown at low altitudes, a challenging requirement given the fuel efficiency and structural demands of such flights. By 1963, all these ambitious ideas coalesced into what became the Advanced Manned Precision Strike System, or AMPS. This program sparked intense research and development efforts, with industry giants like Boeing, General Dynamics, and North American Aviation stepping up to the challenge. A year later, the U.S. Air Force revised its requirements, giving the concept a new name and broader ambitions: the Advanced Manned Strategic Aircraft. Unlike its predecessor, AMSA prioritized high-speed, high-altitude flight capabilities, aiming to compete with the likes of the Mach 2-capable F-111 aardvark bomber already in service. This change was driven by the need for a bomber that could operate effectively in both conventional and nuclear missions, potentially outmaneuvering emerging Soviet air defenses. By this time, AMSA had become somewhat of a running joke among aviation experts, who quipped that it was America's most studied aircraft. While the project promised innovation, it also highlighted a growing debate within U.S. defense circles. Then Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara was particularly skeptical. A staunch advocate of intercontinental ballistic missiles as the backbone of America's nuclear deterrence, McNamara argued that pouring resources into developing a costly new bomber was unnecessary. After all, ICBMs could deliver similar results at a fraction of the cost and with far fewer operational risks. In 1964, the Advanced Manned Strategic Aircraft program took a significant turn when it was scaled back to focus solely on component research and development. This decision reflected broader debates about defense priorities during that era. By 1968, the program faced another setback when funding for the aircraft's development was vetoed yet again. However, everything changed when Richard Nixon became president. Shortly after taking office, Nixon reinstated the AMSA program as part of his administration's flexible response strategy. This approach was designed to provide a wide range of military options, steering away from the stark choice of launching an all-out nuclear war. Nixon's Secretary of Defense, Melvin Laird, took a closer look at the program. After a thorough review, he made some pivotal adjustments. One notable decision was reducing the number of FB-111 aircraft, which fell short of the range required for strategic missions. Instead, Laird pushed for accelerated research and development on the AMSA design, aiming to deliver a long-range bomber that could better meet the Air Force's needs. By 1969, after extensive discussions and debates, the program finally gained traction. It was officially named the B-1A project, signaling a fresh chapter in the Air Force's quest for a cutting-edge bomber. That same year, the Air Force invited aerospace giants, Boeing, General Dynamics, and North American Rockwell, to submit their proposals for what would become a new generation of strategic bombers. The process wasn't without its challenges. By 1971, after reviewing North American Rockwell's proposed designs, the Air Force identified 297 requests for design changes. These revisions range from addressing issues of non-compliance with technical specifications to making improvements that would simplify maintenance and enhance operational efficiency. Despite these hurdles, the program pressed on, laying the foundation for what would eventually become the iconic B-1 Lancer. One of the major challenges facing the B-1 bomber program in the 1970s was inflation, which drastically inflated costs. When the program was first conceived, the estimated cost of building one B-1 bomber was around $40 million in the 1970s. However, by 1975, that figure had skyrocketed to $70 million, nearly double the original estimate. This sharp increase in expenses prompted President Jimmy Carter to reevaluate the entire program. But it wasn't just the soaring costs that concerned him. Around the same time, President Carter learned about ongoing work on a groundbreaking stealth aircraft. The concept of a nearly undetectable bomber using advanced stealth technology seemed like a smarter investment to him compared to the continuing development of the B-1. On June 1977, Carter made a tough decision that he later described as one of the hardest of his presidency. He announced the cancellation of the B-1A bomber program. Instead of pouring more money into the B-1, his administration chose to focus on strengthening the U.S. nuclear deterrent through intercontinental ballistic missiles and submarine-launched ballistic missiles, which were seen as more cost-effective and strategically valuable at the time. Despite the secrecy surrounding the stealth bomber program, Carter's decision allowed for the continuation of the Advanced Technology Bomber Project. This highly classified program would later give rise to the iconic B-2 Spirit, a stealth bomber that revolutionized aerial warfare with its ability to penetrate deep into enemy territory undetected. Interestingly, even though the B-1A program was officially canceled, flight testing of the prototypes continued. By the time testing ended in April 1981, 4 B-1A prototypes had completed 70 test flights, logging a total of 378 flight hours. These tests provided valuable data that would prove useful when the program was eventually revived. When President Ronald Reagan took office in 1981, he faced a similar dilemma: whether he should restart the B-1 program to quickly enhance the U.S. bomber fleet, or he should wait for the ATB project to deliver a more advanced stealth bomber. By October 1981, President Ronald Reagan made a bold announcement. The U.S. would move forward with an order for 100 B-1 bombers to fulfill the critical long-range combat aircraft role. Just a few months later, in January 1982, the U.S. Air Force took the next big step, signing 2 contracts with Rockwell International worth a hefty $2.2 billion. These contracts kicked off the development and production of this cutting-edge fleet of bombers. But this wasn't just a revival of the earlier B-1A model. It was the dawn of a reimagined aircraft, the B-1B Lancer. Engineers made significant changes to improve performance and survivability. For example, the original variable geometry air intake ramps, which were complex and heavier, were replaced with simpler fixed intake ramps. This change not only streamlined the aircraft, but also reduced its radar cross-section, making it less detectable by enemy radar systems. While this came with a slight reduction in maximum speed, the trade-off was worth it. The redesign prioritized high subsonic speeds at low altitudes, a critical capability for evading detection and enemy fire during missions. The B-1B could now cruise at Mach 0.92 at low altitudes, an improvement over the B-1A's Mach 0.85. For operations at higher altitudes, its top speed reached Mach 1.25, slightly below the supersonic capabilities of its predecessor, but still impressive for a strategic bomber. Another critical enhancement was its maximum takeoff weight, which jumped from 395,000 pounds in the B-1A to a staggering 477,000 pounds in the B-1B. This upgrade allowed the aircraft to take off fully loaded with internal fuel and still carry additional external weapons if needed. This made the B-1B not just a stealthier bomber, but also a far more versatile and capable one, perfectly suited to handle Cold War-era threats. Due to the dedicated work of Rockwell engineers, the B-1 bomber's weight increase was kept to a minimum, despite major upgrades and design changes. One key factor was the growing concern about the Soviet Union's introduction of the MiG-31, which was equipped with the advanced Zaslon radar system, along with other aircraft capable of look-down capabilities. To counter these threats, the B-1's electronic warfare suite underwent a significant modernization, improving its ability to avoid detection and jamming. The B-1's impressive appearance of the aircraft features a mixed-wing configuration, with a variable sweep wing that can adjust from 15 to 67.5 degrees. This gives it great versatility, allowing it to perform at both high and low speeds with excellent maneuverability. The B-1 also boasts unique triangular motion control keels and a distinctive crosstail design. Underneath the sleek exterior, the bomber is powered by 4 General Electric F101GE102 turbofan engines. Each engine is capable of producing 17,390 pounds of thrust, with afterburners providing an impressive 3,780 additional pounds of thrust for rapid acceleration. In 2004, during discussions about the B-1B to B-1R upgrade, there were plans to replace these engines with the more modern Pratt & Whitney F119 engines, similar to those used in the F-22 Raptor. While the idea was floated by Lockheed Martin, it never progressed to the implementation stage. The survival of the B-1 bomber, especially when compared to its contemporaries in the aviation world, can largely be credited to its relatively low radar signature, or effective dispersion area. While it's far from being a stealth aircraft like the B-2 Spirit, The B-1's design cleverly incorporates features that reduce its radar visibility. For instance, it boasts serpentine-shaped air intakes that help minimize radar reflections and extensive use of radar-absorbing materials on its fuselage. These innovations give the B-1 an ESR that is approximately 1/50 of that of the B-52, even though both aircraft are roughly the same size. To put it simply, the B-1's radar signature is closer to that of a smaller, less detectable aircraft, though it doesn't fully qualify as stealth. Dubbed the Bone, the B-1B Lancer was a formidable threat during its heyday, especially to the Soviet Union. With a staggering range of over 3,400 miles without needing refueling, the bomber could extend its reach indefinitely thanks to its in-flight refueling capability. Its payload capacity was equally impressive, capable of carrying up to 125,000 pounds of bombs, including nuclear warheads. This meant the B-1B could deliver devastating strikes anywhere on the planet with speed and precision. However, timing was not on the B-1 side. When it officially entered service in the late 1980s, the Cold War was winding down, and the collapse of the Soviet Union soon after left the bomber without its primary mission. By 1992, the dissolution of the Strategic Air Command led to the removal of the B-1's nuclear capabilities. From that point onward, the fleet was repurposed exclusively for conventional missions. But the B-1 wasn't destined to fade into irrelevance. The integration of advanced technologies, such as Lockheed Martin's Sniper Advanced Targeting Pod, gave the aircraft a second life. This upgrade allowed the B-1 to deliver precision strikes with modern smart munitions, effectively transforming it into a critical component of 21st century warfare. When the B-1B Lancer bomber made its debut in Operation Desert Fox in Iraq back in 1998, it showcased its effectiveness with what some called a dumb bomb. Despite being a relatively simple weapon, the B-1B's ability to deliver it with remarkable accuracy completely redefined its role on the battlefield. Originally designed as a Cold War-era strategic bomber, it got a fresh lease on life as a versatile close-air support aircraft, proving to be an unexpected hero in the rugged and expansive terrains of Iraq and Syria. The B-1 Lancer has played a critical role in several major military operations, including Operation Allied Force in Kosovo, Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, and the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Known for its versatility, the B-1 has delivered a wide array of conventional weapons in combat zones, with the 2,000-pound GBU-31 JDAM standing out as one of its most frequently deployed munitions. During the early stages of Operation Enduring Freedom, the B-1 demonstrated its significant contribution to aerial warfare. In just the first 6 months, a fleet of 8 B-1s dropped nearly 40% of all aerial bombs used in the campaign, including an impressive 3,900 JDAMs. These precision-guided munitions were also pivotal in Iraq, where, on April 7, 2003, B-1 bombers participated in a high-profile mission to target Saddam Hussein and his 2 sons, though the attempt was ultimately unsuccessful. The B-1's reliability improved notably during its service in Afghanistan, achieving a mission-capable rate of 79%, a significant milestone given the demanding operational environment. Originally, 100 B-1Bs were built, but by year 2000, 93 remained, with the others lost to accidents. In 2001, the Pentagon proposed placing about 1/3 of the fleet in storage as part of a cost-saving measure. This sparked intense opposition from U.S. Air National Guard officers and members of Congress, leading to the drafting of an amendment to block the cuts. The proposal was aimed at reallocating funds to modernize the remaining aircraft, focusing on upgrades like advanced computer systems to maintain the bomber's cutting-edge capabilities. In 2003, the U.S. Air Force made a strategic decision to retire 33 of its B-1B Lancer bombers, focusing its resources on keeping the rest of the fleet in top operational condition. This move followed the removal of B-1B from the Air National Guard's 2 bomb wings, allowing the military to allocate its budget more efficiently. However, the following year brought a shift in priorities. A new appropriation bill called for some of these retired aircraft to be reactivated. As a result, 7 B-1Bs were pulled out of storage, bringing the fleet back up to 67 aircraft. By July 2007, the B-1B had taken on a vital new role. The Associated Press highlighted the growing USAF presence in Iraq, where the B-1B had been reintroduced as a crucial support platform for coalition ground forces. Its versatility and endurance made it ideal for armed overwatch missions. Starting in 2008, B-1Bs were deployed over Iraq and Afghanistan, circling above combat zones to provide real-time surveillance and immediate air support. Equipped with precision-guided bombs, these bombers could strike enemy targets on demand, significantly boosting ground troops' effectiveness. In addition to combat roles, the B-1B was also at the forefront of aviation innovation. On March 19, 2008, a B-1B from Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, made history by becoming the first USAF aircraft to reach supersonic speeds using a blend of synthetic and petroleum-based fuel. This groundbreaking test, conducted over Texas and New Mexico, was part of a broader initiative to reduce the military's dependence on traditional oil supplies while exploring cleaner, more sustainable energy options. Later that year, on August 4, 2008, a B-1B equipped with the Advanced Sniper Targeting Pod completed its first combat mission. This cutting-edge technology allowed the crew to identify enemy positions with pinpoint accuracy and successfully deploy a GBU-38 guided bomb in Afghanistan. This mission underscored the bomber's evolution into a precision strike platform capable of adapting to modern warfare's demands. The B-1B continued to demonstrate its global reach and versatility. In March 2011, B-1Bs from Ellsworth Air Force Base participated in Operation Odyssey Dawn, striking undisclosed targets in Libya. One of the B-1B standout features is its massive fuel reserves, allowing it to stay airborne for hours on end. This endurance gave it the ability to circle above targets, providing real-time reconnaissance that became crucial for both headquarters and troops engaged in ground operations. The B-1B wasn't just about loitering, though. Equipped with advanced systems like the Sniper Advanced Targeting Pod, it could precisely locate and relay targeting information. Whether guided by data from ground troops or its onboard systems, it could drop thousands of pounds of explosives with pinpoint accuracy, devastating enemy positions, and supporting Allied forces in some of the most challenging combat scenarios. Interestingly, the B-1B's potential to carry external weapons was part of its original design during the Cold War. However, due to the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, this capability was shelved as part of international disarmament efforts. Fast forward to recent years, this feature has been revived, enabling the aircraft to carry up to a dozen powerful external weapons. This modernized capability enhances its flexibility, ensuring it remains a critical asset in modern warfare. One of the B-1's most notable upgrades is the addition of AGM-158 Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missiles and AGM-158C long-range anti-ship missiles. These subsonic cruise missiles are designed to strike from significant distances, allowing the B-1 to neutralize targets with precision while staying out of the range of enemy defenses. The B-1's load-adaptable modular pylon system is a game-changer. It enables the aircraft to carry an impressive total of 36 cruise missiles, 12 on its external pylons, and up to 24 more inside its internal bomb bays. This capacity transforms the B-1 into a powerhouse capable of overwhelming enemy naval forces, particularly in high-stakes scenarios like a conflict in the Asia-Pacific theater, where China's growing naval presence poses a strategic challenge. The B-1 is also gearing up to carry hypersonic weapons, which are currently under active development. Hypersonic missiles, such as the Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missiles, boast remarkable capabilities, including operational ranges of approximately 1,000 miles and mind-boggling speeds of up to Mach 8, 8 times the speed of sound. These missiles are so advanced that they can outpace most existing defense systems, making them nearly impossible to intercept. What makes the B-1 particularly unique is its ability to carry up to 12 hypersonic missiles externally, a feature that significantly boosts its firepower. This combination of advanced cruise and hypersonic missiles positions the B-1 Lancer as a crucial asset in any future military campaign, especially in deterring or countering threats from the People's Republic of China in the increasingly contested waters of the Asia-Pacific region. Originally, this list also included the AGM-138A Air-Launched Rapid Response Weapon, a key component of the Aero Hypersonic Missiles program. However, the U.S. Air Force canceled the development of these hypersonic missiles on March 2023 due to a combination of budget constraints and shifting priorities. Despite the cancellation, the U.S. Air Force still has a remarkable and potent conventional weapon system in its arsenal. If the Air Force manages to equip its remaining 45 B-1 Lancer bombers with the necessary missiles and secure sufficient government funding, it will wield one of the most powerful conventional weapons combinations ever seen. Just 5 B-1 Lancer bombers, crewed by only 15 people, can destroy 6 warships with a combined crew of more than 3,000 sailors. This is an extraordinary efficiency ratio, one that rivals even nuclear weapons in its destructive potential. The B-1 is capable of carrying a wide range of conventional bombs and missiles, including precision-guided munitions, which can be launched from great distances. The B-1's massive payload capacity and ability to fly at high speeds make it a key component of America's airstrike capabilities. And while this kind of power is formidable, it's important to note that even the most advanced aircraft, like the B-1, will eventually need to be replaced. In 2032, the Pentagon plans to begin gradually replacing the B-1 with the cutting-edge B-21 Raider stealth bomber produced by Northrop Grumman. The B-21 is designed with stealth features that allow it to penetrate even the most sophisticated enemy air defense systems. It's intended to be more efficient, cost-effective, and adaptable to future technological needs. Despite this, there's a strong belief among military analysts that the B-1 Lancer could remain relevant far beyond its expected retirement date. With additional upgrades to its avionics, weapon systems, and engine performance, it could continue to perform critical roles in the U.S. Air Force's missions until at least 2040. The B-1's ability to carry 75,000 pounds of bombs and missiles, more than any other U.S. bomber, is one of the reasons it remains so valuable. It can be equipped with a variety of weapons, including joint direct attack munitions, which give it precision strike capabilities, and it can carry out strategic and tactical bombing missions with exceptional effectiveness. Furthermore, despite its age, the B-1 has been continuously upgraded to maintain its relevance in the modern battlefield, with advanced radar, electronic warfare systems, and more. Thank you for watching another episode on our channel. While you are still here, click the video on your screen to see more mind-blowing videos like this one.